Coming up on the show, a new way to get up and running with containers in literally seconds without VMs or orchestration overhead using the Azure Container Instances. Whether you're new to containers or if you're a seasoned user, we're going to show you why you want to take advantage of containers, how fast it is to get up and running with them, whether you're going to be running Linux or Windows, and how to provide one of the most efficient options for your burst compute scenarios. So once again, I'm joined by Corey Sanders on the Azure Compute team.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
It's always good to be back, Rick. It sounds like you've been doing a lot of yelling. You sound terrible.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, you look great, though.
Azure Container Instances, it's going to offer a significant advantage for all of those that are interested in container technology. What does it do and how did it come about?
Yeah, all the cool kids are using containers. So, Rick, are you using containers? Exactly. So the real appeal with containers is the ability to spin up apps very, very quickly, service them very quickly, and scale them very quickly. However, it can actually be a little bit challenging to get going. Many of them require you to create a container environment, provision a host VM, manage that virtual machine, and then you have to go figure out what image you're going to run and deploy it, figure out how to set it all up. There's a lot you need to learn. You need to learn orchestration, scheduling containers, enabling all sorts of management, and so on. It can be really, really challenging to learn all those aspects. Now, with Azure Container Instances, being able to spin up a container on demand without needing to provision any host, and they just appear, as you saw in this picture, zero overhead. That is really the advantage of Azure Container Instances.
Well, how about you actually go ahead and show us what's going on?
Okay, I will, please. Okay. All right, so if I open this up, and I'm going to go here into the Azure CLI. And I'm just going to start here because it's the simplest way to get going here.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to take an image that I'm going to pull from Docker Hub. And I'm going to run this. You can also pull from your own private Azure registry or some other registry. But right now, I'm going to pull it here from Docker Hub and get it launched. I'm going to pass in a few parameters here and get it going. And so let me just show you how simple this is. So if I just say Azure Container, create, I'm going to give it a name. So let's call it Nginx2. Okay, and then I'm going to pick an image, and let's say library Nginx. Okay, and then I'm going to put this in the ACI demo. Demo, and then IP address. I'm going to make public. And so what I'm doing here is, let's just double check, make sure I got it all right.
Yep.
So what I'm doing here, I'm making sure that the IP address is public because I do want to reach it. And it's going to spin from Docker Hub, like I said, an Nginx image. And you can see here it's got an IP address assigned to it already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that was Linux, Nginx we're talking about in that situation. Can I do the exact same thing on Windows?
Yeah, you absolutely can. So let me show you how to spin up a very similar scenario, but on Windows using IIS.
Okay.
And so let me do again here, container create. Okay, and let's say this one I'm going to say call hello Windows. And let me pick the image here. And so Microsoft, IIS, Nano server. Okay. And then I'm going to do let's see here, a group, ACI demo,
right.
And then I'm going to go IP address again, public. Okay, and then I got to pick the OS type. So it does default to Linux, so I got to say the OS type here is Windows. And so that should be all I need to do, and that should go launch. Now let me go get a list here and kind of take a look at all the containers that I've got deployed. So let's go AZ list. I'm going to do that group again. Okay, and let's put it into a table. Okay. And so you can see here, actually, the initial one, the initial Linux one is actually already created and successful and started. So let me actually open that up here and just show you, what that looks like.
Okay, I got it.
See, so that says succeeded here. And the Windows one is still creating. So let's go in and take a look. Some great news going on here.
So everything is happening so fast.
Yes.
It's a very, very fast deployment model.
Yes. Did I pick the right one here?
Get the right address?
13.92.14. 214.
There we go.
Computers can't correct my mistake. No, that was 214. That was right. No, see, come on, Rick.
I can't see this far sideways.
All right, there we go. Let's try 13.93.214.145.
Okay.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. 13.93.214.
195?
Okay. This is literally the worst demo these people have ever seen.
145.
Okay. Why don't you just keep talking, Rick? We'll get this going.
No problem. So that was fast. When they came up, I mean, in the command line, you saw that one was actually created and started. The other one was still in the process of being created.
Right.
how is all this going to be billed for folks? Like, how much are they going to be paying for being able to run these individual small containers?
Absolutely. So, there we go. Look at this. Oh, we're back up here. They gave up. They gave up on me. There it is. Okay.
Got it.
The machine was faster than the human. I swear on that point. Yeah, so this is the best part. The best part about the billing story here is that you pay per second, right? So this spins up in seconds. It takes you longer to
per second.
Per second, yeah.
Per second.
So this spins up in seconds. It takes you a little bit longer to type the address, apparently, but you pay per second, it spins up in seconds, you spin down in seconds, and we were really the first ones to do any sort of per second billing, and we are starting to see some of the others follow us. And just to give you a sense of what I mean by per second, this is $0.0000125 per gigabyte per second, and then $0.0000125 CPUs per gigabyte, per second as well. So that's the price tag there.
Now, one of the nice things about containers is you can control their sizes as well.
Absolutely,
right? Very small and be larger. How do you go ahead and swap out the size of the containers?
Yeah, so this is one of the greatest parts is that, as I talked about, the billing model is GB and CPU. You can actually put distinct GB and CPU on each one of these containers. Okay. And so if I go in here and show you, I'm going to create another one here. Okay, and let's see, Nginx 2, let's go library, let's actually go, that was what I called the first one, wasn't it?
Right.
Let's say 3.
Let's go 3.
Yeah, should we go 3?
Yeah.
All right. Library, Nginx, okay, and then I'm going to go same place here. Okay, same thing, IP address, public, and now this time I can say CPU, let's say 2, so that's going to give me 2 CPUs, and let's say I'm going to do memory, let's say 3.5, right? And so just with that now, I hit go.
Address spelled wrong.
Oh, is that?
ADDRESS.
Okay. You guys all saw it. You were waiting for it to go. I see.
Should have corrected us on the fly. There we go.
Oh, okay. Oh, did I spell library? So then maybe it's actually going to fail to start. But it is going to give me the right amount of memory and CPU. So you can see here I've got CPU 2, memory 3.5. And so if I go ahead and take a look at the, I'm going to list out here again the full list here. There it is. So list out the whole list of all the containers that are deployed here. And this will show me again, that'll show me the Linux one, this will show me this one creating, and then it'll also show me the Windows one as well. And it looks like the Windows one actually is up as well, so let me...
Let's try typing that IP address again.
This is going to be great. Yeah, you guys want to see this happen?
Everyone remember.
What's the odds that this is going to work this time?
40?
No, I'm going to copy and paste. That's what I did. I think that's what I did wrong this last time. All right, here we go. Let's try this, let's try this. And, there we go, IIS. So that one worked. Windows worked.
Got it.
Linux did not. So there we go. Okay.
So this is actually very cool.
That's not Linux or Windows' fault, just to be clear. That's Corey Sanders' fault.
So this is this was very cool, but this could be a very good solution for DevOps scenarios where you want to go off and quickly spin up dev test environments, everything else on the fly.
Yeah, and that's really what we're seeing it for. People who are coming in and saying, look, I built something, I want to try it out really fast. I'm not going to go and spin it up into these production environments. I just want to get going, see it work. Okay, it worked, it didn't work, and spin back around, right? So it really allows you to try things out quickly, test things out. You can do for production workloads as well. You can spin these things up, get things going really, really fast, and that's a really, really powerful aspect. So because it's on demand, because it's so fast, it's incredibly easy to have complete control of your infrastructure and all of your costs. And like I said, charge per second, so you really are only going to pay for what you use and the space you use. Yeah.
So what's going to happen if I want to get more complex? Because we're just talking about a single container right there. But what do you do if I want to have them start talking to each other and stuff like that?
So this is a very important point. We do not recommend using ACI alone for large, multi-container interactive deployments. It will become a little bit messy. What we really think about there is that's when you really want to start looking at your container orchestrators.
Right.
And so you can look at Azure Container Services to be able to deploy, let's say, something like Docker. We want to deploy something like Kubernetes as part of that. You can also, of course, deploy Service Fabric and do all of your container management in all 3 of these. And so really, ACI is designed for one-time execution, specialized containers, and fast scale-out. And that's actually a key point. When you look at something like deploying on top of Kubernetes, you can then do incredibly fast scale-out, and you can use ACI combined with VMs to be able to take advantage of the best of both worlds. Your VMs, you stack up, you load up, right? You make sure you fit perfectly, but then suddenly you need to burst. You can use ACI and you have the same Kubernetes command sitting on top of both. So it's a really fantastic burst scenario, a fantastic ability to handle your spikes in your workload.
So it's fast and powerful, like me. Where is this all going to be going,
There was
man?
no response from the audience. On
I know.
that.
Did
you
you
notice
get a
that?
laugh on that one there? Thank you.
That's just they're like I don't. Is that a joke? I don't know. Okay.
Where's this all going, man?
I'm sorry.
Where's this all going?
Sorry. So, look, the goal here, and this has been kind of the goal with Azure for some time. You can see this with our recent announcements for Linux Containers GA and Azure App Service.
Right.
You've seen this with Azure Container Service and Service Fabric supporting containers. It's all about bringing containers to you in whatever way that you want to. Being able to deploy containers like this on the fly. You can learn. You can deploy your apps. You can burst, or you can go into the more complex scenarios and go up Service Fabric, Azure Container Service, or App Service. All of these natively support it and should really make your CI/CD pipeline just really hum, right? You get to pick and choose where you want to deploy.
Perfect.
So that should be great.
Now, where's everyone going to be able to go to get started with this?
Yes, so both ACI for Linux and Windows is in preview today, right? So you can launch with these today. The commands that I just run should work. They'll work better for you than they did for me, but yeah, they should work today. And certainly you can check out the link here at Azure CI and be able to dig into it a little bit more.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Corey. And thank you, and keep on checking back to the Microsoft Mechanics for the latest of updates, and thank you for all watching.
Thanks.